In the United States, military power is most often understood through images of action. Fighter jets breaking the sound barrier, naval fleets moving across contested waters, ground forces training for environments that demand speed, aggression, and adaptability. These images shape public understanding of national defense. Yet there exists another dimension of military service that carries its own form of weight, one that does not involve combat, but still demands absolute precision, discipline, and sacrifice. This responsibility is representation, and few units carry it as visibly or as relentlessly as the United States Marine Corps' Silent Drill Platoon. The Silent Drill Platoon operates from Marine Barracks, Washington, known as 8th and I, a post steeped in history and symbolism. From this location, Marines perform ceremonial drill exhibitions that are instantly recognizable across the United States and around the world. Armed with M1903 Springfield rifles fitted with fixed bayonets, they execute complex movements in total silence. There are no spoken commands, no cadence calls, and no musical cues to guide timing. Every movement is synchronized through discipline, peripheral awareness, and trust developed over months of continuous training. What the audience sees is controlled perfection. What exists beneath that surface is constant mental focus and physical endurance. For the Marine at the center of this story, assignment to the Silent Drill Platoon was never about attention or spectacle. It was about responsibility. From the earliest days of his service, he understood that wearing the uniform meant more than fulfilling a job description. It meant representing an institution whose reputation was built over generations through sacrifice, accountability, and uncompromising standards. Every public appearance carried weight. Every detail mattered. Every mistake, no matter how small, reflected not just on the individual Marine but on the Corps itself. Faith has long played a defining role in this Marine's life. In a profession governed by structure and hierarchy, faith provides internal discipline. It reinforces accountability when no one is watching. It encourages humility in an environment where perfection is expected and correction is constant. Faith is not a performance and not a statement. It exists quietly, shaping decisions, strengthening patience, and providing stability when fatigue and pressure begin to accumulate. In moments where repetition becomes exhausting and expectations feel unyielding, faith offers perspective. Family is the second pillar supporting this Marine service. Military duty is rarely an individual burden. It is shared by families who absorb long hours, missed holidays, and unpredictable schedules. For a Marine assigned to a ceremonial unit with frequent travel and high visibility, those sacrifices are amplified. Family support becomes essential, not only for morale but for sustainability. It provides emotional grounding. It offers a space where identity is not defined by rank or assignment. It reminds the Marine that behind the uniform exists a person whose worth is not measured by performance alone. Selection for the Silent Drill Platoon is competitive and unforgiving. Marines are screened for physical qualifications, including strict height and appearance standards, but physical attributes alone are not enough. Mental resilience is critical. Candidates must demonstrate an ability to absorb correction without defensiveness, to perform under intense scrutiny, and to repeat the same movements until perfection becomes automatic. Individual expression is set aside. Ego is removed. Every Marine must be willing to become part of a larger whole, subordinating personal identity to collective precision. Training is relentless. Days are filled with repetition. Rifle movements are practiced hundreds of times until muscle memory replaces conscious thought. Timing is refined to fractions of a second. Spacing between Marines is measured precisely. The rifle becomes an extension of the body, its weight familiar, its balance instinctive. Physical endurance is tested constantly, but mental endurance is tested even more. Focus cannot lapse. Awareness must remain constant. Each Marine learns to sense movement without turning his head, to trust teammates without hesitation, and to maintain control even when fatigue threatens precision. Silence defines the platoon. Without spoken commands, Marines rely on peripheral vision, shared timing, and instinct developed through repetition. Each movement begins and ends simultaneously, guided by internal rhythm rather than sound. This silence carries symbolic weight. It communicates restraint. It communicates control. It sends a message that professionalism does not require explanation. For the Marine profiled here, that silence mirrors his personal approach to service-focused, disciplined, and grounded in purpose rather than recognition. Public performances place the platoon under constant scrutiny. From presidential inaugurations to national parades, from military ceremonies to international exhibitions, the Silent Drill Platoon represents the Marine Corps to millions of people. For many civilians, these performances are their most direct interaction with the military. The Marine understands that reality fully. When he steps onto the drill deck, he carries the weight of perception. Precision becomes communication. Discipline becomes symbolism. Excellence becomes expectation. Behind the scenes, life remains tightly structured. Training schedules leave little room for deviation. Uniform inspections are meticulous. Physical conditioning is continuous. The standard never relaxes. Excellence is not achieved once and preserved, it must be recreated every day. Pressure is constant, and complacency is not tolerated. Without balance, this environment would be unsustainable. Faith provides mental resilience during these periods. It reinforces patience during long training days. It provides calm when frustration builds. It reminds the Marine that discipline is not punishment but purpose. Faith strengthens consistency, allowing him to remain steady even when physical and mental fatigue begin to accumulate. Family provides emotional stability. Even limited time together matters. Short conversations, messages, and brief moments between commitments reinforce motivation. They remind the Marine why he serves and who supports that service. Family life contrasts the rigid structure of military duty, preserving a sense of self beyond the uniform and preventing burnout. Ceremonial duty is sometimes misunderstood as secondary to operational service. Within the Marine Corps, that distinction does not exist. Representation is mission critical. Public trust is built through visible standards. Tradition is preserved through disciplined performance. The Marine understands that while his assignment may not involve combat, it carries responsibility of equal seriousness. Every flawless movement honors those who served before and sets expectations for those who will follow. The Silent Drill Platoon demands emotional control as much as physical precision. There is no room for visible frustration, no allowance for individual reaction. Correction is immediate and direct. Feedback is constant. Marines learn to internalize criticism constructively, using it to refine performance rather than resist it. This discipline shapes leadership, teaching accountability and reinforcing the importance of collective success over individual recognition. As time passes, the Marine becomes deeply aware that this assignment is temporary. Every Marine eventually rotates out. Yet the standards learned here are permanent. Attention to detail, accountability, teamwork, humility, these qualities carry forward into every future role. Whether serving in operational units, leadership positions, or later transitioning to civilian life, the discipline forged here remains embedded. For this Marine, the Silent Drill Platoon represents alignment. Faith strengthens resolve. Family anchors purpose. Service provides direction. Together, these elements allow him to perform under scrutiny, remain composed under pressure, and represent the United States Marine Corps with quiet confidence. The Silent Drill Platoon performs without words, yet its message is unmistakable. Discipline matters. Tradition endures. Excellence requires sacrifice. In a world defined by noise and speed, the image of Marines moving in perfect silence offers something rare: control, unity, and commitment. This is the face of defense. Not always found on the battlefield, but present wherever standards are upheld and values are lived. And long after the rifles are grounded and the drill deck clears, those principles continue forward, carried by Marines who understand that some of the most important missions are executed in silence.